Almost 2 years ago now, I released my first video on this channel, and it's safe to say that it is not good. However, I actually really like the theory I came up with in that video. In fact, I still believe it to this day. So today, to celebrate reaching 14,000 subscribers, I'm giving that video another shot and adding on some new theories too. Like and subscribe if you enjoy, and let's start talking about the entire Minecraft timeline. When I made that first video, I had just finished playing Minecraft Legends for the first time. One of the biggest things that had stood out to me was the appearance of the Orb of Dominance. At the time, the only other place we had seen the Orb of Dominance was in Minecraft Dungeons, where the Arch-Illager tried to use it to take over the overworld. That made me wonder if these two games were connected in some way, and if that's true, does the original Minecraft connect to all that? I think that if we can put all of these games together, we can form one massive timeline telling the complete history of Minecraft. Let's start by looking at Minecraft Legends. Minecraft Legends is bad, but it's also an action strategy game set in the world of Minecraft. In the game, you play as a hero that was taken from their own world by the three hosts in order to stop the piglin invasion of their world. You take down piglin bases, fight bosses, and eventually send the piglins back to the Nether. That's cool and all, but what does this have to do with the original Minecraft? Well, in a lot of the promotional material for the game, the developers say that this game tells us about the past history of Minecraft. And it makes sense too. It would tell us where ruined portals came from and how illagers came into being. So that settles it. Legends is an event that happens before the events of Minecraft. That's what I see a lot of theories about this game saying, but it doesn't quite make sense to me. Did piglins really build bastions? Why don't they build things anymore? What happened to all the unique piglin variants and bosses? What happened to the epic village variants? Why did the zombies and creepers start being hostile? None of that makes any sense. But that's because there's a key detail that we're missing. Minecraft Legends is literally a legend. In the first reveal trailer of the game, we see a villager reading the story to its baby. If that's not enough, Jeb literally said this.
We may or may not know what is true and what is myth.
Legends in the real world usually come from someone trying to explain something. Nearly every ancient civilization has a story about the origin of life, of the sun, and countless other things. For all we know, a villager could have stumbled upon a ruined nether portal and come up with this story to explain it. But that doesn't make sense either. We know that piglins exist, and it would be an insane coincidence if a fictional story accurately predicted what was in the Nether. Plus, there are plenty of other things that line up. The Well of Fate looks like an ocean monument, and we know that the Minecraft universe has godlike beings thanks to the end poem. There's no way that any villagers knew about these things. I think we can use legends to give us a general idea of the events that happened in the past, but we can't rely on it for details. So here's my theory about what happened. Piglins came through portals to the overworld and began attacking villagers. After a bunch of chaos and destruction, a hero, maybe multiple of them, appeared from somewhere. They led golems and some willing villagers into the fight against the piglins, and were able to repel them. The heroes disappeared, and the villagers passed down the story for generations. Some of the villagers that fought decided to leave and form their own societies. As the story was retold over and over, the details changed, just like how real legends work. And some of the details, like friendly zombies, were completely made up. Maybe there really were giant birds that have gone extinct, or wooden golems that shot arrows, but it's really impossible to tell. That's just my interpretation of what happened. So that's how Minecraft Legends fits into the timeline. What about Minecraft Dungeons? In the story of Minecraft Dungeons, we see 4 heroes fight against the Arch-Illager. When they defeat him, they destroy the Orb of Dominance. Shards of the orb were scattered across the overworld, and the heroes attempted to destroy them. Eventually, they go to the end, where they defeat the Heart of Ender, the true form of the orb, and finally bring the overworld to peace. There isn't any evidence of this being a legend, so I think everything we see in the game happens exactly as we see it. But where does it go on our timeline? This is pretty easy. We know that it at least has to take place after Legend, since the orb is in the overworld and illagers exist. But what is its relationship to Minecraft? Here's my argument. Minecraft Dungeons has water wheels. Minecraft does not. Minecraft Dungeons has a lot more advanced technology and infrastructure than any of the natural structures in normal Minecraft, so it would make sense that it takes place in the future. That does bring up an interesting point, though. Minecraft Dungeons has a lot of things that Minecraft doesn't, and I mean a lot of things. How did all of them get there when they weren't in Minecraft? Well, I don't think there's a lore answer for this. There's a great video by Zaytrix explaining the difference between lore and gameplay, including why dungeons mobs aren't in normal Minecraft. I'll link it in the description. But to be brief, if dungeons only had Minecraft mobs or locations, it wouldn't be nearly as fun. It had to make some new stuff to keep the game engaging. We can assume that these mobs exist in the world of Minecraft, they just aren't actually in the game. Same goes for biomes, items, and structures. So we've talked about Dungeons and Legends, but what about the original? Minecraft doesn't really have a story. Sure, it has hints at lore, but the gameplay does not involve any kind of plot. But that doesn't mean we can't learn anything. I think one of the biggest mysteries of the game is who we are as the player, and what we're doing in this world. The most detail we ever get on this comes from the end poem. This might be one of the most confusing but important parts of Minecraft. Once we enter the end portal, two beings talk to us. They break the fourth wall constantly, implying that Minecraft is real and not real at the same time, and that we as the player are from a different universe, and that our universe is somehow a dream, and Minecraft is a dream. That's all above my pay grade, but the thing I want to focus on is how they refer to the game. Take this line for example. What did this player dream? This player dreamed of sunlight and trees, of fire and water. It dreamed it created, and it dreamed it destroyed. It dreamed it hunted and was hunted. It dreamed of shelter. Ha! The original interface, 1,000,000 years old and it still works. This refers to Minecraft, suggesting that it's the original universe these beings are from. We know it's old, maybe even 1,000,000 years old if that isn't an exaggeration. So these beings were probably in Minecraft at some point in the past. Maybe you can see where I'm going with this. In Minecraft Legends, the hosts are godlike beings that pull a hero from another world to help save the world they created. What if the end poem gods are the hosts, more specifically what they're based on in the legend? There are 3 hosts and only 2 end poem gods, but since Legends information isn't super reliable, that doesn't really matter. To add more evidence to the pile, at the end of Legends, the hosts say,
"We're not needed here anymore. And that's a good thing."
It is time for a new adventure for us. There are endless worlds out there, waiting to be explored.
In the end poem, they've clearly moved on to our universe, and potentially even higher. With all of this knowledge, that would mean that the hero from Legends is like the player in Minecraft. I don't know how meta this is supposed to be, but the important part is that they were transported to this universe from another one for a specific purpose. That raises the question, what's our purpose in this world? Well, we're only able to talk to the gods when we have killed the Ender Dragon, so it makes sense that that's what we're supposed to do. I don't really have a good answer for why, but the achievement for killing the dragon is called Free the End, so that probably has something to do with that. There's one last thing I wanted to mention. In Minecraft, we see clear evidence of a society that came before us. In previous videos, I've called them the Ancients. They clearly had the ability to build and create, and we're the only other beings we know of that can do this. So maybe these people were the first people the End Gods brought into this world. They then made the structures in society we see the remnants of in Minecraft today. These structures were clearly all made at different times based on how buried or ruined they are. They're all in completely different locations, which implies that there may have been multiple different societies, which means there were a lot of people. Did the End Gods bring all of these people into their world? That doesn't fit with what we've seen so far. They seem to only bring in a few people at a time. But what if they only brought in a few people and then those people had descendants who had descendants until the world was full of people? That quite literally parallels the biblical God. And I think they're doing the same thing in Minecraft. In all of the game's promotional art for the past few years, we always see at least 2 people, Alex and Steve. Side note, I just realized that Alex and Steve sounds a lot like Adam and Eve. I'm sure that's just a coincidence, but it's kind of funny. Sometimes the other default skins are on the posters too. There could be as many as 9 people who were brought into the world of Minecraft. After they defeat the Ender Dragon and free the End, they would still be in this world. In Minecraft Dungeons, there are plenty of canon skins confirmed to be a part of the world. And thanks to the canon dungeon novels, we know that the heroes we play as have lived in this world for a while. What if the people in Minecraft Dungeons are the descendants of the default skins from Minecraft? This is definitely not confirmed, but a lot of the pieces fit together. That's all the evidence I could find that's important to the timeline. So now it's time to put it all together. Allow me to present what I believe is the history of the entire Minecraft universe. Long, long ago, two beings with immense power began to create a world. They shaped it into a beautiful land full of life and wonders. When they had finished, they brought players from other worlds to live in their creation. These players began to explore and create. They built structures that would last for thousands of years to come. Their children continued to expand, innovating and creating new things. They split into groups, each with their own goals and ambitions. They journeyed across dimensions, learning as they went. The End Gods watched their people throughout everything. Eventually, due to their own hubris, the Ancients were wiped off the face of the Overworld. But their contributions to the world could never truly be forgotten. Hundreds of years later, piglins from the Nether invaded the Overworld, led by the mysterious Orb of Dominance. With no one left to defend their creation, the End Gods chose a hero from another world to save the Overworld. With the help of the inhabitants, the hero of legend would vanquish the piglins and send them back to where they came. The villagers inscribed the great tale into their history to make sure the hero was never forgotten. With their world protected, the End Gods decided it was time to move on. They were satisfied with what their world had become. The Overworld was left in tranquility. Eventually, for an unknown reason, the End Gods looked back upon their first creation. The End, which had long been sealed to imprison a being with immense power, was suffering. Once again, new players appeared, this time to free the End. They journeyed across the land and defeated the beast that guarded the End Gateway. The End Gods were proud of their new players, and they left them to start a new society. They once again watched as these players helped the Overworld's inhabitants. But with the End seal broken, peace could not stay for long. The Orb of Dominance, with newfound power from the open End portal, corrupted the world's Illagers. They attempted to take everything for themselves, but new heroes arose to stop them. They defeated the Arch-Illager and at last went to the End to finally finish off the Heart of Ender. The entire original universe had finally found lasting peace, and whenever a new threat arose, it would always have heroes to fight for it. Thanks for watching. Once again, thank you all so much for helping me reach 10,000 subscribers. I alluded to a lot of things that I would love to make full videos talking about. Let me know if you'd like to see more of this Minecraft timeline in the future. I know some of you might be disappointed that this isn't a video about beetroots, but that was always meant to be a joke option for that poll. How about this? If this video gets 10,000 likes, I'll make a completely necessary analysis of Minecraft beetroots. Good luck! Anyway, have a great day and I'll see you next time.